Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, Masterpeace has returned to the TCG, finally. I think, how long has it been, released in the OCG? Master Duel also quite recently, not too long ago, a couple of months ago. And I remember playtesting this particular build, so true Draco Monarch, Monarch engine I guess, with Pantheism, Monarch's Erupt, what else, Stormfort to deal with established boards, plus Tribute Summon during their turn with the Monarch, at least with the true Draco traps. So I like the synergy, and of course Domain, because you're not running an extra deck because of Erupt, and Domain is just an extra nifty lock, but it's not needed, because Erupt technically does the same. So I guess for more consistency, you could potentially drop the field spell Domain, but on the other hand, Domain is another Monarch spell or trap to be discarded, right? You could definitely go for Tenacity because of the, Ignicy, it has the same stats as a Monarch, 2400, 1000 defense, so Tenacity could be there. Which maybe should be there, maybe. But again, it makes your deck much weaker to draw, right? Tenacity, more searches and so on. But the one of Masterpeace definitely helps, it's more interruption, plus don't forget Masterpeace can make itself unaffected by, monsters or spells and or traps, depending on which card you tributed for it, right? So Swamp Deity, in this case, it negates 2 cards, I guess, no Imperm, no Ascension, I think? Or is it 7 Tachyon? No, it's Ascension. So anyway, Erupt, clears the game. The fact that your tribute monsters are not, at least, are not affected by Erupt, makes things ridiculous, right? Skill drain on crack, basically. The deck is also running a couple of extra floodgates, and I guess because you're main decking, those monarchs, spells and traps, you're kind of sacrificing some space for other cards, probably just more floodgates, more continuous traps to prevent your opponent from playing the game. But I think the biggest advantage of playing the monarch spells is Stormfort. Again, having the capability to tribute summon pesky high attack monsters from their board, I think is solid. Is this a top tier deck? Probably not, looking at other stuff like Maliss, and of course the problem of going second. Some examples in a few moments. But going first, it's a solid choice. As for this, let's see, we can go for the, is it Apocalypse? The one that, destroys and then halves the attack of all monsters. And then Heritage, I believe, pops a spell or trap. Same for the other one, again the names, has been a while. Drop Heat, by tributing the trap, okay, making sure that they don't control or don't have a Kashtaran name on field, so, I won't get destroyed by the, the banishing effect of Birth. Right. This is all fine, but again, Monarch Erupt, it is what it is. Either you draw into it, you search into it, Pantheism, etc. It's, I think, the best floodgate the deck has, The fact that you can use your own stuff still with this being under Erupt is kinda ridiculous. Go for the main. No true Draco field spell. It's only a 1-off. I think Master Duel has it at 3, right? So maybe in the future they might, give us back Trident, Brawl, more Diagram, so we can play true Draco Zoo. Anyway, Reborn Fighter? I think so. Draw Desires. Desires is an iffy card. I don't think it's a 3-off, 2-off. Because you want to see it sometimes, not all the time. But I might just cut Desires to 1. You know how it goes with Desires. Activate Desires, you draw into another Desires or stuff like that. I'm not so sure. So Stormfort, here's what I was talking about. So the true, the Fire King deck is a super grindy deck. Being on return definitely helps out, but the fact that their established monsters are hard to get, or at least hard to deal with, because without Stormfort you just have to destroy them by battle, or with Masterpeace by card effects, and that's rough for Fire King, or for me against Fire King, right? That's an advantage for that deck. Anyway, so going second, so let's see, how do we deal with established boards? I guess full Ryzeal combo. They're ending on, the Star Leech. I guess that one prevents, against this deck it's pretty good, right? It prevents the other, Exceeds, with 2000 or more, they could be, they cannot be destroyed, okay, Detonator, has protection effect, but still, and they cannot be targeted as well. So let's see. We can force out. We try to use this spell and then change Stormfort. So Stormfort still resolves, and that's important. Don't forget that. We are losing our back row, but I mean, obviously, it's true Draco, so that's fine. We can, yeah, force out basically the detonator with the interruptions, and then Stormfort it away. So now this means that Masterpeace is unaffected by monster effects and traps, so no Imperm. But Book of Moon, we saw Book of Moon, you know, at Houston past weekend, and even before, but it's a solid card against Mermills as well. So I think this also resets Masterpeace conditions, no? So now it is affected by traps and monster effects. I think so. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't really matter too much. You get Maiden on field as well. She will search a monster eventually, but no trap to tribute summon during their turn. Yeah, most of the time you want to have Fighter right on the field and go from there. Pantheism is not live, but this is more than enough to attack from. I guess a Master Duel where you have triple Diagram, like if you have Pantheism Dead in your hand, you can potentially pop it with Diagram, right? But for some reason we in the TCG only still have one Diagram. Alright, going second against full Maliss, and here is where, it hurts. Maliss uninterrupted just does far too much. Yeah, I mean, you know, of course, even post Banlist. What is it? 2 of the monsters to 2, field spell to 2. It changes, well, I mean, if they open, what is it, Dormars or something, it's still full combo. So Firewall, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters that much, because again, you can play during your opponent's turn as well. And the fact that you can search the field spell during their turn. So Terra hurts. Okay, it has been a while. I guess you could also go for the, whatchamacallit, the other Maliss link, you know, the one that banishes stuff from your opponent, or on field, or whatever. Banishes a card. You can draw. Ash hurts. Ash really hurts. Prevents the draw. We can search, but it doesn't really matter. Here, Desires into Pantheism, into Desires. Always. So, yeah, I know the game was over. You know the trap was there, right? Or, yeah, I think so. And now they can just rank up pluses, rank up advantage, and the game is over. So, is Masterpiece going to change much? Probably not. For a fact, as you saw in Master Duel, it can just come back to 3. Same for Diagram. It's not going to do that much. But going first, the deck is super strong. It's really strong. With Erupt, not that many decks are main decking answers for those floodgates like Monarch's Erupt, for example. So a lot of decks will struggle with these cards, but the problem of this deck is going second. Into an established board, or, you know, without hand traps. So, okay, it is what it is. Feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.